The video here covering some more recent pickups. These are all last couple of days, actually, last week. I picked up a PlayStation 5 Walmart accessory cabinet here. It's in really good shape, lights up. You can clean it up here a bit here and there, but I mean, it's a blue PlayStation cabinet. And these are actually much more rare than the Nintendo and the Xbox ones. So for whatever reason, when they first released these in Walmart, Xbox and Nintendo got cabinets. Sony, I don't know if it was through licensing. I can only speculate, but Sony didn't have an accessory cabinet for a while, and then they got them later on. Now, if you go find these out in the wild, for whatever reason, the Sony ones are the rarest to get out of the three. Although that might change once they phase these out of the stores later on, you never know. But for now, these tend to be the rarer ones to find, which I'm glad to have found. And I like the blue with it, with LEDs, and it works really, really well there. You can see it even has bottom LEDs. Now, you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy these rails, these metal rails that function similar to what a gondola, like this uses. You can just bolt them onto a stud on the wall, and you can mount these on, which I've seen other collectors do. So you don't have to go the gondola route. You don't have to, but this would fit perfectly with that Walmart, with the Walmart tabletop PS5 kiosk like I have with the Switch. That would be a wonderful one to do in all blue and the white. It just would make it pop. And I actually might not keep it for that reason, because I have a guy that I sold the PlayStation 5 kiosk that I got earlier in the year. And we might talk, and I think he really wants it, so it might go to him, and he might have the first ever PlayStation 5 complete kiosk with the accessory cabinet. So that'd be pretty cool if I can help a collector do that. We might work out a deal, but I figured I'd show you. It's a really nice thing. Now you can see my mess of stuff here in the garage. Still haven't picked up the cabinet yet. This is already gone, but I ended up getting a complete PS4 tabletop kiosk. Now I ended up taking these apart because usually I would have kept it complete, but it was missing some of the decals. Like I had the side wings, but they were missing decals and stuff. And I mean, it had the controller and everything, but my experience with these kiosks is not much of an interest for them. So I might just sell it as is with this centerpiece like that. I have the TV as well, but I'll go in. Let's go inside the game room and I can show you the rest. And guys, we're in the game room and we're gonna start off with the Coke sign. So I just picked up this awesome Coke sign. It says, "Have a Coke and smile. Coke adds life." That's debatable. Honestly, if you want diabetes, have Coke. But I cannot deny it is a guilty pleasure of mine to drink a Coke when I'm watching a movie or I'm out having a cookout outside. I cannot deny that drinking that Coke feels good. Honestly, I could probably do away with a few of those. But regardless, it's very cool to have a fiber optic sign from Coke. And this is actually a pretty old sign. So Have a Coke and Smile was from an ad campaign back in the late 70s, I believe 78, 79-ish time frame. And the styling kind of matches with that time frame as well. They were doing a lot of furniture with this wood grain styling. It was super popular. They just put it on compressed wood and glue it on, But that's really cool to add the collection. I still don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I'll add it later on. Somewhere nice, maybe in the game room, maybe in the garage once I'm done with the garage. And then here is what I picked up with the PS4 kiosk. I finally got a TV that works with the controller and the demo unit. The demo unit was always hidden on the back of the TV on the PS4 kiosks. It wasn't that dummy unit that you saw behind the acrylic box. But regardless, I'm glad to have picked this up. Now the TV does have a little bit of issues. You can see there where it the brightness changes a bit there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It's a little bit brighter in the bottom too. And from other TVs that I've had for PS4, they were much brighter. So I think the LEDs are starting to wear out and dim out. But I have a solution. So all of the broken PS4 TVs that I have in the attic, because I had about 5. I sold 2 to some guy in that wanted them. Now I have, I think, 3 left up there in the attic, and they all turn on fine, but the TVs were smashed either by the store reps, employees, somebody broke them. And so it's unfortunate, but they have good parts. So I can take the really good LEDs off of those monitors and put them on here to get this to brighten up again. Now these are commercial TVs. These have been discontinued already by Sony. These are not your standard retail TV, so these are designed to last a lot longer, stay on a lot longer, and they usually make them to be brighter than consumer TVs, just because they want that vibrant color to show off the games, and people can, you know, be like, oh, it's a cool new system type thing. These are 120 hertz monitors, so that's really good as well. So these are really good for gaming. And so hopefully I'm gonna recondition this TV with the extra parts that I have up stored away. So that'll be really good to do. I might keep these TV for one of my incoming arcade builds, because honestly, this TV is, the colors are very good on this TV, as you guys can see. Like, no joke, it really is really good. Let me see if I can play this game here just to show you. Yeah, it's a really good TV to have for games, honestly. Colors are very vibrant and very good, so I'll do that at some point in the future. Another thing I like to talk about is, I don't talk too much about games that I get, but I had recently got a PS5 demo unit, so I did a trade with a buddy of mine that had sold him the PS5 demo unit, the demo tabletop that I sold him. I sold him the demo unit so he could play his kiosk, and we did a bit of a trade. So I got a couple games, you know, Final Fantasy 2, Donkey Kong Country 2. I've got Heart Gold there, Chrono Trigger. I already have a complete in-box Heart Gold, but more the better. There's another Soul Silver that I have, but more the better. Those games are very expensive now. You never know. You have a bad cartridge, it's always good to have a second, honestly. And so I've worked out some trades to get some stuff, big box things. And then I got Pokemon Conquest. I've never played it, but it's becoming a pricey game, and so it's always good to add that to the collection while if you do it in trade. Other things that I've found too, there's a guy local to me that was selling a bunch of return 2DS boxes. I think these were for Amazon or Walmart. Now these had a lot of gooiness to them. Unfortunately, some of these are damaged, but hey, I only paid, what is it, $50 for all of these boxes. And I took them off. I basically used a hair dryer, took off as much of the gunk and stickers that I could. And hey, this will help people complete, you know, their complete in-box stuff. And even though I paid $40-50 for all these boxes, I could easily sell these boxes for $20 a pop and make a little bit of my money back, because I might keep 1 or 2 of these boxes for my own personal collections. You can see they were cut. I think these were return boxes, but honestly, for like a complete in-box collector that just wants to have it, this is a great option. See, some of these are cut here in the bottom, but the shape of this box is actually in pretty decent shape, minus the cut down there. But I mean, honestly, you can just tape it. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, I know there's like mint collectors, but this won't be for mint collectors. Here's another one. See the sticker there? I haven't been able to take it all the way off yet. What I use is adhesive and Goo Gone, but very light, and it will come off, because all of these, I'm not kidding you, some of these had like an entire postage thing over them, and I managed to get it off. So you guys can see there. Now I have, see, here's one, a good example that I haven't worked yet. That's what I had to deal with. A hair dryer went a long ways to getting all that gunk removed. So I'm not, yeah, interesting. But you guys can see there, these have cleaned up really well. They're all cut, I guess, from returns or whatever. This is probably one, yeah, these are all the same. They're not in the best shape, but they're in decent shape. And out of all those boxes, I ended up getting a, which is pretty cool. Let me show you this one. This box. So Ocarina of Time 3D box was in there. Now, this is probably, I lucked out. There's a little bit of damage there in the bottom corner, but nothing is cut on this box, and it's complete with all the manuals and stuff. And I still got to take out some of the adhesive over here. My boy's running around there. But regardless, now if I find the 2DS, the green 2DS, I have the box to go with it. So that, and then here's another 2DS box. This one I ended up completing it. I had a 2DS that was loose, and now I've completed it with the box. So we are good to go. And this is probably one of the nicest boxes that came in the bundle that wasn't damaged. So I lucked out with that. And then last but not least, part of the more additions were, I got the silver finally edition. This is the Pokemon Center 3rd anniversary silver edition. Now these is a custom one I made. I don't have the yellow one yet from America, but now I have the silver one that I got through the trade. And I also got a fully modded GBA. Now to show you this GBA, has an IPS screen, has the USB-C recharger, has LED lights there just for added coolness, glass lens there. The buttons are actually not cheap. These are actually higher end quality buttons, because you know how we get the cheap D-pads, you can do left and right at the same time? No. And then it also has the mod for the sound. So let me turn it on, turn it back on so you can hear it. Very loud. So now I have 2 of them fully modded. So that's really cool. I love handhelds. But I lied. The last but not least thing I have is I found a double-sided Super Mario World vacuum form sign from back in the 90s, which is in really good shape. Few cracks here and there, but given the age, it's a little bit yellowed, but honestly, I mean, for the age of it, I'm really glad I had this added to the gaming collection. Now, let me turn around the other side. The other side is just as good shape. There's a little crack there missing on the bottom, but other than that, it's an amazing shape. I got this from a guy locally. He had it listed for a very high price, and I had seen it been listed for quite a few months, honestly, and I thought it had already sold. But I reached out to him and I made him a fair offer, even though, you know, he was asking for a lot, but I made him a fair offer based on the condition. He accepted. So I ended up taking this home and adding it to the game room. I've already had a few people reach out to me that know me on social media and want to buy it from me and ship it out, and I can make more than what I paid for it. But honestly, I'm so glad to add this to the collection, because I don't have much collectibles from the Super Nintendo era. I love Super Nintendo, but it's just collecting for that particular system is very difficult, especially the display side of things. Like some of the cardboard signs for that era are super expensive, so it's like it's like gold. But regardless, I bought this from a guy who said he saved it from a closing family small mom and pop's video game store back in the late 90s, and so he had it all this time, and then he decided to get rid of it. And so I'm just so glad that I have this in the collection. And you know, this really fits a lot the artwork of the pinball machine too, so I might put it on next to the pinball machine at some point later on once I have my garage done. But regardless, guys, these are my finds. I'm actually planning to make more finds pretty soon. I got some stuff in the works with people that I'm trying to work out deals for, so we'll see what else I can get. But regardless, you guys have a good one, and as always, take care.